I'm Jim with Ride Snowboards, and we're here today to talk about the Cadence and the Carmen boots. These are our top-end women's boots. They share some similarities, but there are some differences. So I'm going to walk you through the things that they share, and then we'll talk about some of the differences. The first thing we want to talk about with either of these boots is the Michelin Sole. So both of the boots, the Cadence and the Carmen, feature a Michelin Sole. So that's Michelin winter tire rubber that we're using on the sole of the boot. So what that's going to do is prevent the boot from slipping around. It's going to increase durability. So when you're walking through the parking lot, walking up the stairs, hiking the pipe, hiking the park, maybe doing a little side country run, maybe you're out in your snowmobile, these things are going to lock into the snow, so you're not going to get any slipping around. You're not going to fall and blow out your knee in the parking lot, which is the most embarrassing way to blow out your knee. These things are also ultra durable. When you're out on that snowmobile and you're tearing everything up on the skids there, it's not going to tear up this boot. This is something that's going to last forever. The other thing we want to talk about this is our zonal lacing system. So both of these boots feature a zonal boa lacing system. So you have two separate boas on here. The top boa tightens the top portion of the boot, and the side boa tightens the bottom portion of the boot. And what that allows you to do is get a custom fit in the boot between how tight you want it around your calf and how tight you want it around your forefoot. This is important because then you can kind of get that custom fit, and you go out and you're not messing with your boots all day. And when you go to tighten, if you had a single boa boot in the past, you tighten it down, and it's hard to get that to adjust to where you want it to be tight. So sometimes you'll feel like the forefoot's a little bit loose. You tighten it down on a single boa, and you don't really feel it until 2 or 3 runs when the tightness like evens out throughout the boot. This allows you to tighten that forefoot easy, or tighten the top, or loosen it. Really good feature. The other thing we want to talk about on both these boots is the Intuition liners. These are fully Intuition heat moldable liners. This is different than almost every other boot on the market. It's a proprietary foam, and what Intuition allows you to do is custom mold these boots. So when you go get them at the shop, they've got a special machine in the store that they can put a little tube into the top of the boot and blow super hot air into the boot. And what that does is it causes the foam to expand, looks like a marshmallow. And then you stick your foot in there while it's still hot, and as the foam cools, it shrinks around your foot and gives you a perfectly custom fit. This is an awesome advantage to other boots on the market that are not heat moldable. Sometimes they'll say, oh, our boots are heat moldable too. And if it doesn't say Intuition on it, they're not really heat moldable. What those boots do is they break in, and that takes 10 to 20 days. So you spend the 10 to 20 days of your season, which may be your entire season. Most of us have to work 5 days a week, and you don't get a ton of days on hill. So it takes you 10 days to break in the boot. You're basically at the end of your season. So by having this Intuition liner, that custom heat molded liner, it is custom fit day one out of the box, so you're not wasting time breaking in a boot and feeling like your feet are going to fall off or getting weird blisters. It's definitely a huge advantage. The other thing that both of these boots have is the calf adjustment system. So each of these boots has a panel in the back of the boot here that's attached with Velcro. You can unhook that and slide it out or pull it in. This is a huge advantage for a women's boot because the way that your calf sits, some people have a bigger, more athletic calf, or it sits a little bit lower on your leg. And a lot of times with a women's boot, the calf will dig into the top of your boot, and it creates an extreme pressure point. This allows you to move that all the way back or pull it all the way in if your calf attach is higher or is a little bit isn't as big. So it gives you a really custom fit on the boot. That's kind of the advantages, or the two things that each of the boots share. If you're looking for a higher end boot with that zonal lacing system, these are going to be your two best options. Carmen is a little bit softer flexing, but it has almost the same feature set as the Cadence. So if you're looking for a medium stiff flexing boot, that's going to be the Carmen. If you're looking for a stiffer flexing boot, that is going to be the Cadence. So the Cadence is the stiffest women's boot on the market. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. When a lot of companies were out there, they told us we were nuts. We had some, even of our customers, saying, women don't want a stiff boot. You shouldn't be developing this stiffer high-end boot. And this just isn't true, because there are women out there, if you're watching this, you're probably one of those women. You want an ultra stiff boot. It's not always about weight or about flex. There is a personal preference that comes into it. In the past, if you wanted that stiff boot, you had to go and try and find a men's boot in a super small size to kind of fit that in there. But now with the Cadence, this is as stiff as the stiffest men's boot in the ride line, which is called the Insano. There's a lot of women out there that are looking for a boot that is just ultra high performance, stiff, and is going to be super durable. So that's where the Cadence comes in. So how do we achieve that additional stiffness? Is we put a rebound heel counter. This is a urethane heel counter in the rear of the boot, and what that does, it's going to offer a vibration damping. It's going to make the boot last a little bit longer, and it makes it just a little bit stiffer. If you're looking for a boot that is going to be ultra stiff, ultra high performance, you're going to be able to ride it for the entire season, maybe 2, 3, 4 seasons, looks great, that's going to be your Cadence. If you're looking for something that's got that same performance level but just a little bit softer flexing, you've got 2 options in the colorway for the Karman. Either way, I promise you're going to have a good season.